Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to start the introductory part of business economics. So let's start first with the definition of business economics. So a few definitions have been given in case of business economics, like McNair and Marin defined business economics as it is the use of economic models of thought to analyze business situations. So there are business situations and the market, so many situations business enterprises need to face in day-to-day life, maybe related to sales, cost, output, customer satisfaction, and you can say investment. So these problems can be sorted out by the use of business economics. D.S. Watson defined business economics as it is the price theory in the service of business executives. Braham and Pappas defined it is the application of economic theory and methodology to business administration practices. Hailstones and Rodwell defined business economics as it is the application of economic theory and analysis to practices of business firms and other institutions such as healthcare facilities and government agencies. So this was the definition part. So let's focus on very briefly on the importance of business economics. First of all, it can be useful in decision making by business firms. So these decisions can be with regard to least cost product mix, production technique, level of output, price of product, investment decision, amount of advertising outlay and its distribution between different media, etc. So these kind of decisions can be taken with the help of business economics. Second one is it is the branch of economics which links abstract theory and business practices. So we need to focus on the economic theories, tools and principles, and we have to apply all of them in business. So by identifying problems, so we can identify the problems, organizing information, so what raw information we gather from the market that can be organized, and evaluating all feasible alternatives to choose the best therefrom. So to solve a particular problem, we need to go through work upon the different possible alternatives available, and we have to make a selection of the best one and we need to apply it. Thus concerned with analytical tools useful in decision making through proper allocation of scarce resources between various activities of the firm. Primarily business economics is basically a micro concept, so it can be similar to the microeconomics. So this is the partial equilibrium kind of analysis where we need to focus on a particular equilibrium situation, keeping some factors constant. It is prescriptive in nature. With the help of business economics, we can prescribe to the business firm to find out a fruitful solution for a particular problem. So it is comparative static in the sense that two or more equilibrium situations can also be compared. And normative in approach. Normative means some kind of value judgments can be taken. Value judgments, you can say, suppose there is a problem and to find out the solution of the problem, you observe the market and you applied different you can say solutions for them, and you observe later on, so you find out whether the problem has been improved than before or not. So if the problem is improved, the solution was better, then we can continue with the same solution. But if the problem is not improved, then we need to focus on what should we do. Means if the problem is not found soluble, it means then we can focus on how can we make them further improved, or what should be done, or what should can do about it. Next is the scope of business economics. The scope of business economics is very wider as we are talking about business. So whole business sector, or you can say business enterprises, are have been considered under this under the domain of this subject. So first of all, the resource allocation, as there are different kinds of firms. Some of them are producing single product, some of them are producing two products or more than two products, means multi-product firms are there. So with the help of this, we can allocate the resources as per the requirement. Second one is demand analysis and forecasting. So demand analysis is the area where the business firm can take decisions about the demand of their product. So how can they increase the demand of the product, what kind of precautionary measures they can take, what can be the advertising policy regarding raising the demand, what kind of discounts can they also be given. So such kind of decisions can be taken under it. And forecasting means they can forecast the demand for future. For example, for the next year they have to find a tentative idea that how much production they can make, then they will focus on demand forecasting. So cost and production analysis. Similarly, they will analyze the cost, they will analyze the particular production, you can say, output, production output. They have to focus on that how much quantity they have to produce, what can be the input combination. Input means the land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. So what combination will be the fruitful for the organization. With the help of which they need to decide how they can minimize the cost, and they can decide about economies of scale, diseconomies of scale, right? So such kind of input output decisions can be taken. Next is inventory and queuing problem, because we are living in the modern times, and in modern times current market scenario, most of the business firms are trying to give quicker solution of the problems of the customers. So they don't want to they don't want that even the customer must stand in queues, before the gate of the business firm. So these kind of problems can be tackled with business economics. Inventory problem related with inventory means whatever has been produced by the firm, so how much quantity must be there in the stock. So some minimum quantity can be there, so that could not be there in bulk. So whatever we produce, business firms try that everything must be disposed of into the market in time. So they have to make such kind of decisions so that they could not have huge inventory stock, right? Risk and uncertainty analysis. Next is risk and uncertainty analysis, because they have to focus on again the risky situations and uncertainty. Risky situations mean the situations which can be recovered with the help of insurance, the losses can be recovered, and uncertainty analysis means uncertain situations which cannot be recovered with the help of insurance. So such kind of decision they have to focus on under economic forecasting and planning. So whenever they forecast anything, they have to plan accordingly. Profit analysis, they have to focus on profit maximization. Many theories have been given in case of profit maximization, so side by side we will focus on different theories when we go further in the depth of this subject. Market structure, pricing policies, different types of market structures are there, like perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. Accordingly, we will focus on the different pricing strategies of these markets. We will focus on how the price is determined of the product, how demand and supply forces will interact with each other, how the profit can be calculated. So this is known as the price output kind of decision that have been taken by the firms. Next is investment analysis. It is related with the project appraisal and investment decision. Suppose you are going to establish a new firm, so you have to make a decision regarding how much quantity initially you need to invest. If you want to go to expand your business, then you need to focus on what kind of locality must be suitable for you, and accordingly you will have to allocate your funds, keeping in mind the success rate of your business in a particular locality. So such kind of decisions related to investment can be taken by the firms. Next is role or significance or application, whatever you say, in decision making. So decisions basically classified on the basis of functional areas of managers, and managers perform so many functions related to finance, related to production, related to personal management, related to marketing, and so on. So let's focus on financial decisions. So what kind of financial decisions the business firm, or you can say the managers, need to focus on? How much quantity, for example, I am talking about manufacturing sector, so how much quantity of raw material is required, what kind of raw material is required, what can be the price and quality of raw material, and when we used to use this raw material in the manufacturing process, how much units we have to produce, what will be the total costing in the manufacturing process. If we are going to sell the if you are going to supply the product in the market, so how much expenses will be there. All the financial matters will be considered under financial decisions. That can be related to labor also, right? Production decisions, every decision related to production, basically we have to focus on what combination of inputs can be there, like capital intensive technique or labor intensive technique we need to follow. How can we maximize our output, and in future how can we get a tentative idea that how much quantity we need to produce for future, so that we can survive in the market up to a long period of time, right? And what will be the change in the output as compared to cost structure of the firm. Such kind of decisions are taken here. Personal decisions are related to the persons, or you can say related to the employees of the decisions. For example, HR practices, right? What kind of policies related to their salary, or you can say wage structure, what kind of benefits can be given to them, and how can we maintain the proper supply, of how can we maintain the continuity of the labor force, so that manufacturing process cannot be hampered. Such kind of decisions can be taken here. Marketing decisions related to marketing, like how can we supply the output into the market, how can we market them, the connectivity with the wholesalers, and you can say what kind of marketing, or you can say sales campaigning we can do, how much advertising expenses we can afford, and what can be the planning for the advertising, what can be the style of advertising, and keeping in mind the competitive market scenario in the market, because so many competitors in the market, so we have to focus on their marketing strategies also, so accordingly we can plan, right? And other decisions also, like related to the supply, right? The how much quantity we need to supply, how much change in price we can do, how much change in supply can do, how the market equilibrium can be settled down, how the factor market equilibrium can be settled down, how the elasticity of price, elasticity of supply can be find out, so that accordingly price and so that accordingly demand and supply can be changed. So these kind of decisions, so it is not possible to give such kind of elaborated idea in this summary of this introductory chapter, right? So we will focus in detail about all of these parameters in the successive lectures, successive chapters. So next is demand forecasting. As you are aware, demand forecasting, production planning, and cost revenue decisions. How much cost is involved, how much revenue we can earn, the revenue can, how can we make our revenue maximum. So total revenue, marginal revenue, average revenue concepts we will go for study in the successive chapters. Production planning, so planning what can be the strategy to produce more and more, what is break even analysis, what will be the loss making situations, what will be the profit making situation, what is the situation when a production firm can shut down. So such kind of you can say problems we need to focus on. Next, study of economic environment, general economic environment, like day-to-day life, industrial conditions and industrial policies. It is related with the secondary sector of the economy, that is non-industrial sector. So what is the current market situation in case of industries, what is the scenario in the industries, and what can be the industrial policy we need to focus on. The stage of supply of resources of production, so at what stage of the manufacturing process there is a requirement to add more you can say inputs like labor and capital. If you are in the requirement of employing more machines and more labor, then you have to take a decision regarding it. Pricing and related decision, so decision related to price and decision related to the price equilibrium, right? Investment decision I have already explained to you. Next is limitation of business economics. As we know, limitation means the border, that is the limit. So beyond, if we are going to cross that particular limit, so a particular subject cannot be applied perfectly. So that is known as the limitation of a particular subject. So here we are going to study limitations of business economics. Number one, multiple products and multiple inputs. So in case of business economics, we study generally, theoretically when we go through the literature, we study generally two product cases and two inputs cases. So when we talk about multiple products, more than two products and more than two factor inputs cases, then we cannot apply business economics practically. Next, difficulty of obtaining knowledge about demand and cost condition. It is very difficult to obtain knowledge, to obtain the information, you can say to obtain the data regarding the demand, what is the exact demand of the product. It is very difficult, it cannot be identified easily in the market. And the cost function, what kind of cost functions are there, because practically nobody is going to find out the cost function. The ultimate objective is just to minimize the cost, so practically that is not applicable. Failure to take account of broad economic forces. So when we talk about a broad economic forces, like depression situation is there, inflation situation is there, like government instability is there, so such kind of like a war kind of situation is there. So such kind of major economic forces which are responsible to make a drastic change in the economy, sometimes the subject becomes failure to explain all of those factors. Next, margin analysis is not reliable. When we go through the study, when in the successive chapters, you will focus that margin analysis means the equality between marginal revenue and marginal cost. But in few cases, or practically in real world, the equilibrium cannot be maintained with the equality of MR and MC at some places. So in those cases, this business economics cannot be applied. Uncertainty, because the world is full of uncertainty, that's why business economics has a limited scope in the business scenario. Market structure and marginalism or margin analysis, both are the same. Equality between MC and MR, when we will when we will go through the market part, then we will focus on the equality between MR and MC and what is the exact meaning of it and why it is the requirement for the business firm theoretically. Market structure, as I have already told you, different kinds of market structures are there. Later on we will focus one by one in detail. Goals other than that of profit maximization. Basically, theoretically it has been assumed that there is the sole objective of the business organization, that is profit maximization, but practically there are so many objectives can be there, like maximum sales can be there, maximum revenue can be there, customer satisfaction can also be there, minimum time waiting can also be there. This is the maximum supply can also be there, right? Employee satisfaction can also be there. So these are the some other examples of the goals that some business organizations target in, or you can say decide in the current market scenario. Next is business economics as the analysis of major subject. So business economics is utilized in different subjects, you can say, that we need to focus in detail. So can be equivalent to the, you can say, the major subjects, you can categorize them, like demand analysis, method of forecasting, as I have already discussed with you, cost analysis, pricing theory and policy. There are different pricing theories. Price skimming is there, price penetration policy is there, average cost pricing policy is there. So accordingly we will focus on in later chapters. Profit analysis, capital budgeting. So what will be the budget of your capital for running a business? So we will focus on the detail of this part. Business firms and objective, what kind of business firms are there? Partnership firm is there, sole proprietorship is there, joint stock company, joint ventures are there. These are the business organizations structures and their objectives. So we can study this concept with the help of business economics. Competition or analysis of market, that I have already discussed with you, that there is the world full of competition. So different kinds of market structures are there according to the various degrees of competition. So later on I will explain all of them in detail. Business economics and other disciplines. So business economics is basically related with the other disciplinary areas, or you can say other subjects also. Microeconomics, when you deal business economics in case of a particular business firm, single particular business firm, then it becomes microeconomic theory, or you can say business economics at micro level. So microeconomic theory is applied in business economics. Similarly, macroeconomic theory, if we apply economic principles, theories, tools and techniques at macro level, means in case of nation, or you can say in case of the aggregates of the units, then macroeconomic theory is applicable in business economics. Operations and research. In operations we focus on to find out the optimum cost combination, output combination, how to minimize the cost, how to maximize the output, what is the queuing theory, right? Replacement problem is there. So these aspects are discussed under operations research. So that's why operations research is equally associated with business economics. Theory of decision making. So different types of decisions, as I have already discussed with you, we need to study in this broad area of business economics. So this is also related to it. Statistics, because there are so many tools and techniques, or you can say formulas are there, numerical techniques are there, which we need to study to find out the solution, numerical solution of those problems. May be related to demand, may be related to supply, may be related to market equilibrium, right? May be related to profit, and so on. Management theory and accounting. Similarly, business economics is applicable in management theory and accounting principles also, like capital budgeting is there, NPV, suppose net present value, you need to calculate. So we need break-even analysis is also useful in this area. Mathematical tools, so it is a mathematical branch. So some segment of mathematics we use here for the purpose of calculation. That's why business economics is associated with mathematics. Econometrics is a special branch where it is a combination of economics, mathematics and statistics. That's why this branch known as econometrics. So statistical tools, techniques, econometrical tools and techniques are applied to find out the solution, or to, you can say, to make different models for the purpose of study with the help of econometrics, right? So this was the introductory part of business economics that we discussed today. So in the next lecture I will focus on another chapter. Till then, okay, thank you so much.